and good morning. Here we are with day 17 of SAGA Live's morning routine show. Going to keep it nice and easy for the beginning. Going to get things going very shortly. Just launching a little bit early, only a couple of minutes. I spy with my little eye my coffee cup. So I'm going to go make sure to grab that. I am creaky today, but keeping up. Oh, there's that blue card on the floor. It's our question of the day for later. Just resetting the computer real quick so I can make sure it runs fast enough to keep up with the chat. Had to put it through a lot yesterday. Brett and I went up to the roof and filmed a new fight scene. We're really excited to see how that's going to come out. And for those of you that are watching here, you're going to get first dibs on the announcement that that little fight will be premiering, I believe, today at 5 p.m. on the SAGA Facebook page as well as the YouTube channel. So,
good morning, Josh.
Oh, good morning, Josh. How are you? He's making up accents to drive Brett insane. It's like, is he trying to be German?
Well, you've been doing your Arizona one for...
Well, I'm phasing out of it. At least I'm not living with Christopher Walken.
No one really does a good Christopher Walken except Christopher Walken.
Kevin Spacey did an okay one. Oh, we don't talk about him anymore. How is the audio coming through, everybody? Sunday coffee, lo-fi, enjoy, chill out, coffee jazz. Let's just look at coffee jazz.
So we've changed the location of the mic again, so we're kind of moving it around different places in the studio, trying to see how it sounds in different locations. So,
ooh, this is fun. Just enjoying. This might be too fun. It's really fun though.
Josh, this sounds sounding good. Becca also says the audio is good.
Alright, well, we'll just keep trying. See where this goes today. You can see the microphone in the shot, which... No, let it be there. It's part of the show now, especially once we give it googly eyes or something. Adriano, don't rush me, man. Adriano. No, let it be there. It's part of the show now, especially. That does sound good. All right, let's get started. Today is Sunday, April 5th, 2020. This is morning routine day number 17. Checked off yesterday's. I am grateful for, oh man, am I running out of things? Am I running out of things? No, I'm grateful that the weather is warming up. That's really nice because I walked outside for like all of 5 minutes yesterday and it convinced me that Brett and I needed to go on the roof and film a little fight scene, and that came out really well. Yeah, I can't wait to show you all it. It's going to be cool. The weather is warming up. I'm grateful for making fight scenes with my friends. 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 Start inviting people to this. Boop, 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 boop. I'm just clicking that invite button because I want my friends to join us, if at all possible, on this beautiful Sunday morning. Let's see here. Just click those invites, share it on those walls, say hi to people. Don't stare into the abyss, or stare into the abyss. I don't particularly care which one you do. Okay, I mean, I probably care. Let's say that I do care. Sure, take your time. Adriano, don't rush me, man. Adriano, we gonna have a problem here, man? You want to start my morning routine off with aggression? You want to get my blood pump? Oh, Brett's telling me I gotta move on. Okay. I'll stop threatening the viewers. Third thing I'm grateful for, producer Brett, keeping me on track. Which, we had a nice little check-in about the show last night, prepping for this week. We've got some cool ideas coming up for this show. Once we finish up with a little bit more of the Tai Chi, we're going to start swapping out some new moves to continue our technique tutorial in fun and different ways. So keep that in mind. And then finally, my affirmation: I can be a hero who inspires others with a smile. I said it fast today. Then sometimes you just gotta sit there and read it over. Get it back in your head. Say it out loud to yourself a few times, and then the truth is, you might need to change it. Temperament's important. If you're not feeling something, it's gonna be really hard for you to do a lot with it. I'm going to rewatch Man of Steel while I wait because it's such a good movie. I'm glad we agree, Adriano. The abyss is my friend. Josh, that's a really creepy thing to say. I don't keep that one to yourself. Unless you're talking about like The Abyss, the James Cameron movie with like the water face thing. And Ed Harris crying in his car after shooting the movie. Alright. And PayPal just charged me a butt ton of money for something that I don't know. We're moving on. We're moving on. Alright. Who's ready for their top down, check-in, and flow? I'm gonna add some more moves and configurations to it today. I'm gonna get up. Oh, and now I am up. Oh man, all the blood just rushed to my head. Speaking of that head, let's start rotating the head of my neck. Let's get it moving. Just shaking it back and forth. I was extra crunchy today. When you see the fight scene that Abra and I did, that Brett filmed, you'll probably have a good idea as to why it might be so crunchy. I think it's because I hit the deck, literally, like 15 times. There was about 15 takes. It was more like 10 takes with like 5 rehearsals.
Yeah, we didn't make it all the way to the end in a couple.
Yeah, that's true too. I didn't get kicked in the chest as Abra is wont to do to me in a couple of them. Alright, just getting those body parts moving, getting them nice and fluid and loose. Up to the sky, stretching, 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 feeling yourself filling from the ceiling to the floor, and going back down. I'm gonna reach down actually. Okay, into the chest, and the waist. I like how Abra does like these pushes across the body. I'm gonna steal those from her real quick. Eventually we're gonna turn those into Kung Fu punches. That'll be coming in the next week. A little spoiler alert for everybody. Going right into the hips. Bend at the waist. Push that butt back. I'm jumping around a little bit to demo, but you can do whatever. kind of doing like a reverse lunge, countering a shoot if I was doing wrestling. Why bending at the hip is so useful. If you can get low to the ground, you can protect yourself from a lot of dumb stuff. Pushing through and twisting a little bit, warming up those knees. See, I could go back to just doing this for sure, but then I'm not really exploring a whole lot. So eventually, I gotta find ways to make those same feelings happen with slightly different moves. I liked how yesterday I brushed the floor a little bit. Come up. Alright, let's see. Ankles, let's push into them a little bit. Pop them off the floor. Do one, do the other. Now that you're doing that Tai Chi set with me, you should be understanding a lot more about that weight shift change that we were talking about way early on. Pushing up and dropping. Abra and I watched another Tai Chi video from another master the other day, and it's going to probably have a little bit of an influence on me for a while. I'm going to keep studying this guy's stuff. I'll actually link his stuff shortly to everybody because I found it to be really good, really simple, and this guy has like one of the best personalities. I think it's kungfu.life is his website. So if you want somebody to work out with doing these kind of crazy things that is different from me, there's another great example. So you see, I'm going into the S sweep. I'm posting my hand, and then I'm doing my hip get up, and I'm reaching across my body, almost kind of like our stretch set, right? And then when I lower myself down, I sweep across again. Oh, and that's really great because it's stretching the front of my leg, it's stretching my hip flexor, it's letting me reach up in kind of that dancer's bridge position, but I'm also really getting to keep my back safe by not pushing up too hard. And I know I need this today because I took a lot of hits to the ground from Abra. And again, I'm just taking the little Lego pieces of all these different moves that we put together, and I'm just creating something first thing in the morning that wakes up my body where it still feels asleep. So I'm going to do those lateral transitions and scoot forward and just pull myself across the mat just slightly, making weird noises, I'm sure, into the microphone. So finally, let's wake up those arms a bit, go into that downward dog, do that rolling wave move we talked about. That rolling wave move we've talked about. I'll talk into the microphone behind my own arm. You can settle back, do those circular push-ups. And switch into the crab crawl position. Reach across, do a tripod and get up. Make Brett really angry because he didn't see me going that far, and he's like, catch up on the camera, wait for the camera, stay really low, go back down. Reach across, come back up this way, facing the camera as best as I can, scooting through, coming down, whatever works for you. My body is feeling nice and limber and warmed up, so I'm going to give it a second, and then we're going to go into our Tai Chi tutorial. Let's check and see who you are here. Hey, Aisha! Good to see you. Glad that we got Becca, Josh, Adriano. I need to share this onto my timeline. I didn't do that yet. It's a Sunday morning, we gotta get people involved. We need friends. I mean, we have each other at least. I'll share it now. Video has been shared to my timeline. And going back to working as the page. Alright. I think we're pretty much ready to go. Let's get into that Tai Chi. Now, funny story. I absolutely forgot that we had done the fourth move. So yesterday, I thought I was going to teach the 4th move, and I was thinking of the 5th move. So I skipped both, and I only taught the first 3 moves. So we're going to go through moves 1 through 4 again today. We're actually going to take the Tai Chi form that we're doing. This is 5 organ spirit enlivening form, or 5 organ form to enliven. It's awesome. It's more of a Qigong Nigong set, depending on how you want to translate that. It's a bunch of basic moves that help you kind of process the warm-up sort of attitude towards Tai Chi. So you're really prepping the body to start doing the actual form Lao Yang. It's also just, in my opinion, a great sense of attribute development tools, a set of attribute development tools that will help you get better at that form. And it's good to go back and forth between the two. But also, for all of you watching today, just going to let you know, once we finish these 4 moves, I'm going to save the last 2 probably for a special video for those that are interested, so that we don't pour too much Tai Chi down people's throats. And then we're going to start transitioning into Kung Fu forms that are a little bit harder in a sense, but will lead to greater physical attribute conditioning outside of just balance and stability. They'll open up some flexibility and they'll encourage some conditioning strength, but it's really good to have those Tai Chi basics down first because they'll help you develop your sense of weight shift, balance, and movement. All right. Lowering the volume on my amazing jazz. Coming back up to standing. Let's go to feet shoulder width apart. From here, we're going to talk about one thing very briefly. We're going to talk about the opening posture, Wu Qi. I'm going to take one of my hands. In this case, I'm going to take my left hand. Put it between my feet and put the heels next to each other and point them slightly out to about 45-degree angles. So it makes about a 90-degree angle total. From here, I'm just going to sit into my posture. This is known as Wu Qi. Wu Qi, as it was explained to me, is basically a posture of it's a neutrality. Things could be in chaos. No Qi is kind of one of the things that I've been sort of told about it, and it's not necessarily to mean that there's no energy, but what it means is that there's no direction to it, so it can go anywhere from here. It's at the center. It's one of the ways that I've interpreted it, at least. Point is that from here, we're going to begin our form by activating into that balanced position. I'm going to take my right foot. I'm going to empty it as I fill my left foot. I'm going to turn out slightly. Bring my toes back to facing forward. As you'll notice, I don't know where my socks are today. Step out to shoulder width. Take my other foot. Connect at the ankle. And step back out to shoulder width. Now, it's just a basic variation of this. I'm not getting into a lot of the details right now. But just those first 2 moves, this one you'll remember kind of is also in Unite Heaven and Earth. This one allows you to get into that shoulder width position. The real goal here is to start kind of informing the practitioner of this difference between the weight shift of empty and full. But then we go into our first move, Sen Chi to 4 limbs, where both feet are full and we're just filling up the body all together at once. Weird sound in the hallway. Don't let it disturb your Tai Chi. Bending at the knees, nice and soft, while staying straight up. Face the camera just a little bit, or face the microphone just a little bit so that you can also see me from the side just slightly. I'm putting my arms to my sides as I breathe in. My arms expand, and as I breathe out, I rise and my arms contract. Again, tongue to the roof of your mouth. We're going to do this exercise 4 times. Ready? Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. See how slow I can go through my legs. And one last one. Breathe in. And breathe out. And so you can make the move that slow. When I was a kid, I only did this a couple of times, but when I was a kid, I had a stupid game that I would play with some of my friends, and it would be a race to see who could get somewhere the slowest. I have no idea what that was about. That was a dumb idea. It did not create any fun whatsoever. It was dumb. But the principle here is kind of the same. Can you go slowly through what you're doing and stay active throughout all of it? And that's where you'll build that grace in that movement. Okay, relaxation, intention, and activation all together. Let's go into stork exercises leg. From my feet shoulder width apart. Bring one leg to another. Hand on top, hand to the side. Push up, toes to the ground. Extend through the heel. Brush the floor 1, brush the floor 2, brush the floor 3. Step out to shoulder width again. Step across and sink. Rise, breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe out for 1, 2, 3, and sink across to the other side. We're going to do another 2 sets of this exercise. So breathe in, back. Try and catch yourself. 1, a 2, a 3. Sink and rise. Squishing that. 1, 2, 3. Step across. Sink. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Step across. I'll turn slightly sideways so that people can see. 1, 2, 3. Step out shoulder width. All right, see, my legs are already starting to wake up because that actually does take a little bit of muscle, a little bit of control. And with the squishy mat, I'm absolutely working on my stability. A lot of Tai Chi is tended to be done in slippers or shoes, so the fact that I'm barefoot on a squishy blue mat is not necessarily how it was designed. Third exercise, monkey exercises, shoulder. Again, feet out, shoulder width apart, a little bit of a subtle bend to the leg. Shift and fill one side of your body. Turn your intent towards the other side. Check your balance with this check step to the ball of the foot. If you need to get into the ball of your foot more, just raise the heel up. Find that comfort zone. Set the weight to 60-40, sink down. Hand goes to your kidney. Hand goes to your shoulder. Elbow is down. Breathe in. Turning through the waist. Breathe out. Coming back to center. Reset your position. Hand lowers down. Hand lowers down to the outside. We're going to do this 3 more times just to get through it, and then we're going to add Unite Heaven and Earth again today. So from here, shift my weight, check my intention to this side, check step out, sink and check my intention back to the center. Hand goes to kidney, hand goes to shoulder, breathe in, and breathe out. And reset. Again, this is a really great one to do slow if you're capable of it. Check to the side, check down, lower, face the front. Hand goes to kidney, hand goes to shoulder, breathe in, and breathe out. Come back up to standing. Last rep for this one. Shift, check step, lower. I was watching myself in the video, that was a problem. Hand goes to kidney, hand goes to shoulder. Breathe in. You should be hitting that point where you filled your breath all the way through by this hold. Time that. Now breathe out. And you should be hitting this point where it's empty as you come right to the end. Shift back up. Hand comes down, hand comes down. Fourth and last move for what we're going to be doing with our morning routine, unite heaven and earth. I'm going to step across, one hand coming behind, one hand coming up. I'm going to let myself lower down. The hand that touches the leg, this side is empty. The hand that touches the head, this side is full. I press up, raise up to the sky, raise down. I should be able to see my hands in the corners of my eyes. Foot leaves the ground slightly. Open up, just like at the beginning of Wu Qi. Open up twice. I'm a little teapot pose. Step out to the center. One hand comes down, one hand comes up. Transition over. Lower ourselves. Press, press. See how I'm kind of creating these circular holds? 1, 2, 3. It's only supposed to be 2. I don't know why I just did 3. I'm being distracted by how much I'm enjoying this. Step across. Hand comes down. Hand comes across. Lower yourself. Press up. Press down. 1, 2. Step across for the last rep. Step across. Hand comes up, hand comes down. Reach for the sky. Reach for the earth. Hold that balanced position. 1, 2. Reset to the center. Hands cross in front of each other as you lower. Elbows to knees. Extend out. Touch your pinky, ring, middle, pointer, thumb as you rise. Bring it back to the chest. Spread the fingers apart as they lower down your center. Trace the waist and breathe out. And drop the energy out. Those are 4 moves that you can do from the Qigong set for Laoyong Tai Chi. We're going to move on today into our planks, the rest of our workout. But let me get that community question out to you so that you can start thinking about it in the back of your mind while you train this morning. So, here I go, lowering myself to the ground after that wonderful set. I feel way more circulated. Today's question for the audience is, Brett and Abra helped me start writing these down a little bit more ahead of time so they don't catch me off guard as much. And again, this is kind of a throwback to what I worked with Dr. Brian Stoops on when I was developing a lot of the, let's say, thesis work for SAGA Action Arts over the last year. And he had me write a list of 100 achievements that I was proud of. And they could be anything, I just had to be able to specifically remember them. That was one of the hardest things I ever had to do because, again, big believer in self-inflicted imposter syndrome over here. So writing about things that I achieved was terrifying because I don't really look at almost anything that I've done as an achievement. So today's question is, what is an achievement that is an example of your goal or dream as we have discussed so far? So think back to when you were younger, or think back to yesterday, think back to whenever, but think about something that you achieved that was part of what we've been discussing, whether that was the dream that you have, the training goals that you have, or who you want to inspire. those achievements made you feel good. And those achievements brought you in alignment with yourself and allowed you to discover something that you wanted to keep working for. So share with us a memory when we get to the community answer section. Don't worry about typing it up right now. We're going to go right into our workout. But think about that. What is an example of an achievement that you experienced in your life that helped you feel directed towards your dream and your goal? And we'll talk about that soon. For now, I'm going to set up the timer, and we're going to go into plank land. Everybody loves plank land, right? It's plank land. It's the dumbest thing I've said. Okay, not quite, but it's getting there. Setting the timer for 45 seconds. Since the microphone's over here, I'll actually turn this way today. I'll get to see a different side of me. Setting it for 15. High planks to low planks are my jam. Whatever your jam is, do the jam. Great, now I want jam. Damn. Pushing through, pushing through, pushing. First round's always so easy, I never know what to do with myself. Oh, but my right arm is feeling it today. Alright. Just sitting here planking. You guys remember planking? That was a thing for a while. Surprised it's not a thing right now. Right? Like planking during the apocalypse? Come back. Yeah. What goes around comes around. Or as Abra and I like to say, it's happened before, it'll happen again. We like to reference our Battlestar Galactica. Get low, get low! Oh, my back really needs this today. And again, I'm actively pushing away from the ground. I'm not just holding this position. I'm actively trying to push away from the ground to activate actively them muscles. I might start doing some more side planks. I've been thinking it might be time for me to start changing this up a bit to allow me to start developing other parts of my physique. Or, I'll do my own these versions of the planks before the video and then add something new to engage with you all in together so that you all can watch me continue to suffer. Alright, back to the high plank. Honestly, at this point, I'm just like busting through these workouts so I can get to the chat with everybody. That's easily my favorite part of this video series now. Friends! And I have my jazz music. I'm glad I got back into my jazz music. Really focusing on that pec girdle. Yeah, okay, feeling it today. Almost cheated and lowered myself. That's alright. Just do what we do. Low planks. Almost done. I'm going to try and shut my brain up a little bit more today so that I don't keep over-predicting when the next round is over, etc., etc. Oh, gosh. Hurts so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Oh, God. Sometimes planks don't feel like they should. Oh, good. Warning sound. Hey, if I can get through these, you can get through these. You leave me alone. All right. 2 more reps. Making sure to check this time. Up next is the high plank. Come on, baby, make a heart so good. Have a sing along. I'm just giggling like a mad person today. I'm having a bunch of goofy thoughts inside my head. I'm not going to share them with all of you. I'm not going to share all of them with you. Yeah, Josh, no, I'm in a completely different state than I was yesterday. Personally, I prefer this, being genuine, stupid, and goofy, over trying too hard with the show. Again, this isn't a show that I want to take super duper seriously. I want to work at it super duper seriously. But I don't want to become super kami guru and act like this is the most important thing you're doing with your life right now. That's called becoming a cult leader. And Dylan won't become a cult leader. He promises you. Super Kami Guru Dylan will not become a cult leader. I'll try my best. Oh, who am I kidding? My 2 producers are Brett and Abra. It's never going to happen. They'll find a way to execute me behind the scenes before I get into Kool-Aid land.
Josh is glad to see you're doing better.
Thank you, Josh. Everybody's favorite sound. Oh. My buddy Kai, who teaches down in Houston, just messaged me. I was asking him about how things were going, and he said, going all right so far. Most classes are online and actually have more clients. Go figure. And that's what he said. He was like, go figure. Well, and you don't have to get much further than your bed, between your bed and your door, to do your classes. Kai is definitely one of my favorite teachers that I've worked with. He is this amazing teacher who helped me connect my internal martial arts more to my personality. And what I mean by that is he helped me understand that everything that I learned about internal martial arts was really great, but they were just as much for me as they were for the art themselves. At least that was my interpretation of my encounters with him. Moving along. And thank you, Josh. That means a lot. Oh, hi, Allie. Nice to have you here. Glad to have Penelope back. How are these planks getting easier? And not getting easier. I've been doing them every day, at least once, sometimes twice. Focus on the breath, I would say. You're doing them alongside of me. If you're doing them without me, if you're doing them on your own at some point, that's really good. Sometimes it just takes longer than others. I think you've only been doing them for about a week. At least give it 2 weeks. The other thing that I would say is that they really don't get easier. You just get more able to put up with them. Let's see. Christian sent me a video. Christian, get in the chat. Get in the chat. Come hang out this morning. Alright, Brett's going to kill me if I don't get into these Kung Fu warm-ups and move the clock along. It's nice saying hi to everybody. So who's ready for our Kung Fu basics? Don't need a timer for this one. Just need to bust out some reps. A little bit of stuff going through my chest today. Again, we're going to do the brush floors, then the horizontal chi raises, then the elbow to toe, then the vertical chi raise. 40 of the brush floors. We're going to do 2 sets of 20 now. We're going to try and build up our stamina just a little bit. We're going to do 20 horizontal chi raises, 20 elbow to toes, and then 20 vertical chi raises. So that's 20, 20, 20, that's 60 plus 40, that's 100 moves. You're going to do 100 moves, and we're going to try and get this done in hopefully about 5 minutes total. Let's start with our brush floors. I'm going to step one leg out, do 20 on one side. Feet are rooted, bend and bend. Breathe out on the way down, in on the way back. Ready? Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Switch your feet. Let's get this other side done. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, that's 40 total. Let's go into our horizontal chi raises. And again, another 20. Breathe in and raise up. Breathe out, split, drop, push. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's a good one to get the blood flowing, right? All right, elbow to toe, 20 reps total. From standing upright, I check step, reach down, that's where I breathe out. Breathe in at the top. 19 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. Love to see a picture. 6 of people in this pose. 7. Smiling, let's see how low you can go. 8, 9, 10. Love to tag my teacher in them. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, last move, the vertical chi raise of our 4 basics. Feet shoulder width apart. Breathe in. Rise up. Remember not raising your shoulders, pulling your elbows back, opening up that chest. See how my heels are up off the ground and my hips are bringing them forward. I've got a little bow to my back. Breathe out. Go into that deadlift bottom position. Punching to the ground. Backs of fist to backs of fist. And then breathe in again. And come up. Let's do 19 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's it for our Kung Fu for today. Especially on those vertical chi raises, again, make sure not to treat them like jumping jacks. If you go back and watch this video later, you're gonna see a major difference between my first 5 reps and my last 15, I believe. I stopped bouncing, I held the bottom position, and then came back up for the top position. It's important to treat these exercises with that stop and go mentality because your inertia is supposed to come from both the bottom and the top. The bouncing is a useful thing to have, but it's about coordinating your breath with that explosive energy up and down or in and out, depending on the chi raise. It's a little bit more fluid from what I remember with the brush floors. All right, taking a second to catch my breath, setting up the timer for our Savate Leg Holds. It's one of my favorite things of the day. Getting a little bit of coffee. How you doing on coffee, Brett?
I'm still fine.
Brett's still fine.
So
We don't get to do the shot yet. We'll do it at some point. Fair enough. Setting up the timer. 30 seconds per leg. Let's see if I can keep track. I always get up on my right side. I need to start getting up on my left side. Horrible imbalance. Left leg rises. No, actually, I'll do it with my right leg first. Forget about it. Let me go in reverse. Sometimes you just gotta change things up. There are a couple of things my teacher's teacher in Kung Fu and Tai Chi said that got passed down to us as kind of like dumb ideas that'll help you change up your life a bit. Number 1, if you have a habit, or you have many habits, and you're trying to change something, change one thing a day. That's a lot, to be honest. It's more like just try and change one thing a week, but the thought is just isolate one idea and either improve or change it. And one of the things that I remember him saying is that if you write with your right hand and you do a lot of things with your right hand, start doing them with your left hand. And that doesn't mean necessarily writing, but that can mean doing things like using utensils and eating, or chopsticks, if you want to go into like the ultra nightmare difficulty land. So, if you ever want to start working on that bilateralism of the brain, it's really helpful with like stick fighting and weapons work, but also just fighting in general, so you're never caught off guard. Let's go into our chassé holds. Brush your teeth with your left hand. I'd say use a mouse, but that's almost impossible for most people, including myself, even though I'm left-handed. That's why I always suck at Counter-Strike. At least that's one of the reasons why I always sucked at Counter-Strike. What else could you do? I mean, obviously, you can do some sword work, you can do the Saga 9 template. But just start adapting your body in different directions. And again, for me specifically, I just decided to flip-flop which side I start with on my Savate Leg Holds. Is it going to make a huge difference? I don't know. But it threw me off at the very beginning and broke my pattern, which, it's like taking the blinders off. It's like breaking through tunnel vision. Every once in a while, we should do something that we're doing just slightly different to remind ourselves of why we're doing it. This goes for the morning routine stuff too. We do something the same exact way every day. We might become perfect at it, but we also might just get locked into it and lose our awareness. At least that's how I felt. I don't know. This is my own thoughts. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know in the comments. And into my fouette holds. A fouette. Oh yeah, I'm going to my bar kick. I kick to the bar. Body with the bar. Bouncing. Again, when we ever get to it,
and we make a Savate intensive video. You'll get to learn a lot about developing these postures for both combat and just attribute development. But for now, literally just spend your morning hopping on one leg and have fun with it. It's about as goofy as you can get. Alright, I believe this is the last round. Yeah! See, I went unconsciously into my long guard and I pulled it right back. Jab, jab, jab. I'm going to start doing that as part of it. Jab, 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 jab. Practice some really ridiculous moves. Jab, cross, while holding this dumb position. Oh, but I think it's so beautiful. It's so much fun. You know, it's a great compliment to my Tai Chi and Kung Fu. Being able to hold these balletic postures. Low kick, jab, jab, low kick. Everybody's favorite sound. Savate is done. And that's the French salutation. Wow. We are really getting through this today. Let's set the timer and go right into our stretch set. 30 seconds. Again, do whatever stretch works best for you. I'm going to start just kind of looking over at the chat. But I'm really going to try and focus on my stretching as well. And so should you. To the left, up, to the right. Let's do it to the right. I'm going to start by going right. See, I'm left-handed, so I default to over here. A couple of times when I was doing stick sparring at tournaments, one set of training in particular was under Sifu J.B. Yeager, and we were doing this at the Guosho Championship. I would start with my weapon in my right hand, and about 10 seconds into the match, my weapon would be in my left hand, and I'd be like, I didn't do that. Well, it just happened. Because in the heat of the moment, my body defaulted to what it was most comfortable with. And I didn't even realize it until about the next 15 seconds through. I was like, why is my weapon in my left hand? I wanted to fight right-handed. So since then, I've been really training on, especially with the help of Guru Brian Stoops, who's a full dog brother. Guide Dog is his name. Dog brothers do live stick fighting with heavy, hard sticks and minimal armor. He's been helping me with my switch game in the sense that he's been helping me know when to execute going from right hand to left hand and how to use my dominant lead, which would throw a lot of people off in terms of their range game, how to use it at the most opportune moments. We got to pull that out a bit in the Philippines. Tried to get him to give me like a goofy, like pitcher signal thing. He wouldn't do it. He was just like, hey Dylan, it's 30 seconds before the next part of the blah blah blah. You got 30 seconds left. And that was him telling you to go to my left hand. I wanted to have him tell me to use my limit break. He was not amused. Different generation of nerd. Tomorrow afternoon, you can join Brian for his classes from, if you want to join the kids' classes on Zoom, but he also has adult classes from 5 to, I believe, 6:30 on his Zoom at his house. You can learn Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do and all sorts of great foundational stuff from Dr. Brian Stoops. Could not recommend that guy more. Great teachers are great because they have great insight. And they have great insight because they've practiced and they've figured out what's the reality and what's the BS. And their job is to save you that time. I've been really lucky. I keep having great teachers that tell me the truth. only had to deal with a couple of knuckleheads. Brett knows who I'm talking about. Brett keeps his mouth shut. And if you think I'm a knucklehead, why are you here? To watch me suffer? And yet here I am, a hero with a smile on his face, who inspires others to feel safe and secure, and who also falls apart completely some mornings. Almost done. See how much lower we're going? How are you guys doing on this? Y'all getting a little bit deeper into these stretches? Are you doing your own? And everybody's here sound, although I could probably do that stretch for another half hour. Shake it out however you need to. Remember, you just stretched it. Be careful not to go right back into a compression. So, I hate it when it feels like my muscles are about to snap. I'm going to bring the computer over, right here. I'm going to refill my coffee. And so is Brett. It's all about friendship. 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 Because when I fill up Brett's coffee, I'm filling up your coffee. Because that's how goofy this show is. You drank it. He drank it. Hollywood Studios. Yes, you did. All right, everybody. Oh, the SD card from the shoot yesterday. I'm just tossing 64 gigabyte SD cards, like throwing bills out in the air, yo. All right. How's everybody feeling after all that? I have to say that was probably one of my favorite workouts that we've done so far. We just bursted right through that door, kicked some ninja butt, and then came back in and finished it off to recover with those stretches. I'm actually feeling really pumped about that. We're getting this, as Brett likes to say, down to a science. Ah, that felt good. Well, thank you, Penelope. I'm glad that felt good for you. Going to go back to asking the audience question of the day. I'm sorry, the community question of the day. There was me flashing back to like 15 episodes ago. The community question of the day, again, is what is an achievement that is an example of your goal or dream as we have discussed so far? So again, think back. What is something that you accomplished that when you accomplished it, maybe you didn't even have your dream or goal set up yet, but you were like, wow, I didn't think I could do this. I really love doing this. I need to keep doing this. For me, that was obviously a couple of times training other people and finding out that I really love seeing other people succeed. For me personally, we started doing these cosplay fight shows at conventions. And the first one we ever did, I think I did it because I was like sad about Otakon or something, and I wanted to like have a reason to go, but I didn't want to pay. I wanted to see like an ex-girlfriend or something and impress her, and she didn't even go that year. So the DC Stunt Coalition was a new and fresh thing, so I applied for a panel where we would do fight scenes and teach a little bit of basic fight choreography, our Fight Choreography 101 curriculum, and got in shape, did a lot of ab work, dressed up like Shenmue from King of Fighters, and we put on this fight show, and we had 100 people show up for this workshop. And they all had a lot of fun. And we even had a professional stunt woman, Angela Merrill, show up and do a Q&A with us. And it was a great experience. And later that night, we went to a bar restaurant in the Inner Harbor at Baltimore, and we ate. And I read a quote from a mentor of mine. He had sent it to me, and it was him quoting somebody else, but it was essentially this quote about finding your joy. And finding what that is, and then holding on to it and fighting for it. And knowing that if that leads you, you're going to be okay. And I kind of found it that night. Now, I don't really work with or train with almost anybody that was in that show, but
But every other person that I've encountered along the way doing more of these fight shows, more of these stunt shows, the big MagFest shows where we created these hour-long, sometimes almost musical stunt shows for a video game convention. Every person that I've worked with has brought some sort of value to my life by being a part of those crazy visions. And when I've seen them have fun and grow and get applauded by thousands of people in an audience, I've just been like, wow, I really got to create something cool and inspire some people. And for a long time, that's kind of how we kept building the Stunt Coalition. So it made me want to keep doing this, and then it really, years down the line, pumped me up to want to create SAGA. And I'll end that little story on this note. The second show that we did, somehow my younger brother was really excited by the first show that we did, Trevor. And I got to cast him as the lead in the second show, with the understanding that he would have to train and learn an entire 90-minute show for the first time in his life. He had never done anything like that before. And I got to direct and help create a scene where my younger brother saved the world. And that was really cool. I like the story. I like the story of the story. This is a very dark tower now. All right, so what are other people's answers? People are feeling good. I'm getting more self-aware about my muscles and how to work them. Yes, Adriano, that is the goal. Build that awareness. I really want to see these answers from people, and I would really love to wrap this video by 10:10 if possible. So what's an achievement? For me, it was the first workshop, and then the 40th workshop, and then the big MagFest show. What's an achievement that told you, yes, this is what I want to do with my life? Becca, I think I've told you this story before, but about 5 or 6 years ago, I played a fighting Maid Marian in a Robin Hood play. I broke my middle finger during tech, but I could still do all my choreo, so it was fine. So I ended up wrapping canvas, and you have told me this story, but I still love it. Wrapping canvas around my finger, hand, wrist to cover up the splint. One performance, we had about 200 Girl Scouts that came and saw the show. They loved it. We had to hold for applause after one of the fights where I disarmed 2 guys while unarmed. It was pretty great. The best part, though, was the next day they had a dress-up day, and a bunch of them dressed as my character, even wrapping their hands like mine. Inspiring 200 girls like that was one of the best feelings I have ever had. That's what I want to do. Becca, you are a true artist. I want to cry just reading that story. That is so freaking beautiful. And you're going to do it. And you're already doing it just by doing what you're doing. We'll have something really cool for you once all this is over. We're definitely going to put out some great content. Share it to the right places. One thing I would encourage you to look at, Becca, that Abra and I have looked at before multiple times, there's a website for it. Brett, you can remind me if I'm wrong, but the Artemis Film Festival?
Yeah, that's the Women in Action.
Yeah, so Artemis Film Festival is a women in action festival. It's submissions from female stunt performers and action stars. If you go and Google it, or we'll look it up at some point, you can watch through a lot of their stuff, get inspired, maybe share some of that content, maybe even connect with people that are doing stuff similar to what you're interested in. Because we can have more of an impact if we connect with people that want to do similar things to what we're doing. Moving on. And Becca, again, I love that story. Aisha, a quarantine accomplishment has been being able to do pull-ups, chin-ups on a pull-up bar. I've never been able to do them, even previously when I was doing aerial silks for 2 years straight. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't do any, and now I can do 4 at one time. I've even managed 1 wide arm pull-up. Aisha, you are a baller. I still need to get on my pull-up game. I need to order a TRX or something like that at some point. CD drive. That's really good. Good accomplishment. And I think that definitely is in line with your goals of like being stronger and connected to your body. Good. Really good. Dang. You gotta send us a video of that. And as Becca said, that's awesome. Josh,
I think for me it was becoming a Synetic company member. That was the first real step to becoming a performer. Josh, that's a really great answer. Much more specific than your usual answers. Tease you on that. Had you seen their shows before? Were you inspired to try and get on it? Tell the story at some point of how you auditioned, how much it meant to you, and what you felt like right after getting the news. Josh, I mean this. Make that moment, those moments, that little story, that part of your life, turn it into a little narrative the way that Becca just did. Tell that story with some power. It's good that you cut to the chase. So now I challenge you to give us the monologue version of it, as it were. The TED Talk version. It's basically what we're doing. Anybody else got any answers for today? Aisha, I'm so impressed with you just pushing harder to get stronger and stronger. And Josh, you're doing great as a performer. Maybe you need to start recording some monologues. Maybe you need to start recording some scene work. Maybe you need to record some dance that you put together. There's no reason that you can't be doing Synetic from your own home. I'm going to keep challenging you, kid. I want to see what great stuff you can pull together. I'm just going to keep reading Becca's story and crying. My God. Oh, the texture. Using the word canvas is amazing. I'm very much an English major, so good art just drives me nuts. Penelope, very comfortable with hitting the ground. I recall back when we had long summer hours at DC Stunt Coalition, I used them to hit the mat over and over again. I'm not so bad at it now. You are not so bad at it, Penelope. You hit the ground harder than almost anybody I've ever seen hit the ground, and you do a wonderful job at it. Yeah, that's really awesome. You knew that you were good with doing that, and you knew that you could keep doing that, and now look at you, you're doing it. You're doing it. I'm sure once the industry starts back up, people are going to be calling for you. Keep it up. Wendy, good morning. Rolling in late. Working on Wonder Woman 1984 in the summer of 2018 was a huge wake-up call for me. I worked an overnight shoot and went directly to my day job. Sitting at the desk, I was like, what am I doing with my life? I started training with DCSC in August 2018 and started back up with a 3-year program at Studio Acting Conservatory in September 2018. That's awesome. Wendy, did I meet you on the set, or did you meet Abra? I can't remember. I just remember running into somebody. I just can't remember if it was you specifically, and I do apologize. My memory, as the producers can tell you, is not one of my strongest qualities. But that's great, getting on that set and knowing that you want to actually push forward, sitting at that desk and knowing it's time to move on. That's really awesome. I'm working on a couple of projects right now that will probably be coming out soon. Josh, dude, hit me up. Let me know how they're going, man. And I can't wait to see them. I don't really have a starting pointing. Adriano, slow down. Type with better English. That way I can read it more clearly. I don't really have a starting point because I started drawing when I was 3 years old and have been doing that ever since. I was part of a major comic book anthology a few years ago with some of my favorite artists, Little Nemo, Dream Another Dream. More recently, yesterday actually, I got signed for a short comic book project that I am very enthusiastic about. That is awesome, Adriano. That is fantastic. And I want to make it very clear, I still have your chat window open from when we first started talking, when you started joining our program a few weeks ago. I'm going to look through more of your art, and I'm going to get back to you with some questions that I have about all the cool stuff you're capable of doing. Wink, wink, wink. That's really great. Also, Little Nemo, holy cow. Man, that movie scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. So I want to know where I can get a copy of that anthology, man. I'd really like to read that. No, I met Tarak. Okay. She told, yeah, I remember hearing that too. Abra, I, and a bunch of other people, we just were using that set as a way to kind of like recruit new members. For a while there, it worked.
We called forces to make that shark.
Yeah, Brett put a whole chart together of names of people that could possibly work on the show. And it was a big stepping point for the Stunt Coalition at the time. Shoot whatever questions you have. I absolutely will, but not right now. Now it's time for me to get on the platform and start saying all the things that make me sound like a corporate shill. We're going to end the show today. We had some great answers. Please just read what Becca wrote over and over and over again and cry anytime you need some catharsis and you need to know what all this is really about. That's exemplary, Becca. It's amazing. I couldn't say it that well. I'm going to have you write my origin story for me. Yeah. Today felt a lot better. Thanks, everybody, for coming back. I was really worried that yesterday would cause a huge alienation to the community, but it's wonderful to have you all here. I gotta show my own scars from time to time. Again, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, you can either share it with your friends, you can tag them, invite them to the next day. Our next day off is Wednesday, so you've got a couple more days to bring people into the loop. If you would like to help us out on YouTube, we really, 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 really need people to hit that subscribe button, because as we build momentum with that, we'll hopefully be able to get, I don't know about an income, but at least a little bit more platform awareness. And I really mean it when I say, please do that review thing on our Facebook page. I posted the link on the group. What do I gotta do? It's not like you all are going anywhere. But really, more importantly than anything, I just appreciate everybody being a part of this community. It's been growing. It's been getting stronger. It's okay when you need to take a day off. It's really great when you're here with us. We're getting wonderful answers from people. I'm feeling truly inspired. There is no other show for today, but at 5 p.m. we'll be releasing a little promo video for the channel. A nice little fight scene between Abra and I, filmed by the amazing Brett. And then tomorrow morning, we'll have another morning routine, followed by Abra's workout, hero conditioning at 1 p.m. And then the rest of the schedule will go on from there. So, thank you all for joining me today. We'll catch up again tomorrow. And until then, have a good Sunday.